Yeah, y'all. Yeah. And it don't stop and it don't quit. It's another morning and we talking all of this. Hey, what's up, y'all? Hey, listen, we just getting started. What up, Ray? Got to have me on the God show and you got to come on my show. You know what I'm saying? We got to do some things. Listen, how bad do you want it? We're going to get into the conversation, but first we're going to start with the what does it meme section of our show. There's some conversation that's going to change the situation. I just want to talk about it for a second. There's some things that are going on out there right now, man. Right now, hot off the press is this. I don't know if any of you guys have watched this Chris Rock special that's been going on, and his conversation about the Will Smith situation. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, that whole thing was staged, and I can't believe that they're still drawing it out. I can't believe that they're still allowing it to continue when it's a parody. The exact same thing that they did is a parody of something that has happened before. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about, what you seek, you'll find. Another cool thing, Pau Gasol got his number retired, which is super dope. He got it next to Kobe Bryant's. And we're going to talk about a flashback, man. Some of this is curated from the things that come across my feed. And of course, if you don't know any better, you should follow the Shade Room. I'd like to welcome everybody back. I appreciate y'all coming in tonight. Let's just get things started. Yeah. Yeah. We're getting it started. Mr. Canada's in the building. I see you. Hey, Sassy. Yeah, we're going to talk about it, Sassy. I think it's important that we get into it because before we get to the meat and potatoes of the show, today we're going to be discussing how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? It's important that we get into that. Muted there. Okay, there we go. There we go, Sassy. I was talking to you that whole time. It was kind of muted, but we're all right. You can hear the music and everything. We vibing. Yep. What up, Tashi? What's happening, everybody? I got a real serious question I'm asking everybody. Yeah. How bad? If you're in my live, make sure you hit the like button and share the live. What? She said you look a little sleepy this morning. That's why I be wearing my shades. I'm sleepy every morning. What are you talking about? Y'all don't be knowing I be coming through for y'all. You got me looking for my glasses now too, because that's why I wear my stunners. Because I be tired. Yeah, I'm tired every morning. Don't you forget it. She said, I look tired today. I be tired every morning, just so you know. Yeah. I'm your host with the most, like butter on your breakfast toast. And it's about time we get started. Listen, what's up, everybody? I appreciate y'all checking in. Letitia, Sassy, I see y'all. Make sure when you're on there that you hit the like button, the thumbs up. Let me know that you're rocking with me, you know what I'm saying? So check this out. So Chris Rock is now back in the news and getting, everyone excited with this Netflix special, which I think is, it's kind of crazy, right? He was already on tour when this situation happened with him and Will Smith. Good morning, Enough. What's happening? And while he was on tour, he sold out all of his shows based off of what happened with him and Will Smith. Like that was like the thing. People had all this empathy for him. And so they did the most, you know what I'm saying? They showed up for all his concerts that weren't sold out prior to that. So there's a win in it for him. And I keep telling people that it was time for Will to pay the piper. You know what I'm saying? I think that Will owed his debt to the elitist groups that are out there, and so he had to pay his debt. If y'all ever notice that when celebrities get so big, or at some point in a celebrity's life, they get admonished some kind of way. And make sure y'all hitting the like button. Make sure y'all are sharing. That's the way we participate in this live with this social digital currency. But he was, I believe he owed somebody. Like, if y'all haven't paid attention, every artist goes through something. Dave Chappelle went through something, had to get out of Dodge quick before that thing happened to him. Martin Lawrence talked about it. Like, Martin Lawrence went through a moment where he said they're out to get me, and he had that moment that he had, and he hasn't been the same since. If y'all haven't noticed, like when you watch Bad Boys, each new occurring version, you're like, yo, what's going on with Martin? This is something that happens in the entertainment business. Every artist goes through something visually traumatic. Kanye West is going through it right now, and it's like. Eminem, all of them went through something. Yeah, it's like Sassy said, it seems like a humiliation ritual, right? And I feel like Chris Rock and Will Smith did theirs at the same time. You know what I mean? But Will got the greater blunt of it because he didn't have any marks on his career. Think about it. The person that had a mark on their career was Chris Rock because of the infidelity on his wife and those kind of things. He had already been publicly humiliated. So when Will did that, what he did to him, it was Will's turn. Now, I can't tell you why, but just in this whole, I'm not a big Chris Rock fan. I've never liked his comedy. I never thought he was that funny. You know what I'm saying? Although I went to a show of his in Vegas and I fell asleep. You know what I mean? It's that like that. It's like, it wasn't funny like that. I like a different kind of comedy. You know what I'm saying? I like people that are really, really funny, and he can't act. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, cool person, but like when it comes to those things, and then if I have to choose and draw a line between Will or him, I got to choose Will based off of his duality and his career set. You know what I'm saying? Not only was he a dope rapper, but he's a dope TV show talent and then actor. You know what I'm saying? Well, I guess it's all the same thing, but if you dig in the crates, y'all, if y'all go back and look, you will see that what happened on stage at the Oscars, which was already low rated, it was a parody of something that happened years ahead of it. And when I say a parody, I mean it was exactly the same. You know what I'm saying? It was exactly the same. No, Tasha, you're absolutely right. His comedy is not serving or relatable to us. It is very disconnected from our community and what we think is funny. So this is why comedians have to do what they do when they throw these comments and try to ride the wave. You know what I'm saying? So he's riding the wave of the incident. But the incident, there are several things wrong with the incident. Let's talk about it. First off, it's the most awkward smack I've ever seen a grown man do to another grown man. I've never seen a grown man smack across his body that way. And then he never really, I went back and examined it. Y'all know me, man. I be like really trying to break things down. I went and looked at it. He never really hit him flush. And you never saw a flinch or a facial response from Chris Rock at the point of getting hit. Anybody else get hit, what do? You grab your face. It's exactly actor smack. And Tashi, do you know that they had been rehearsing that already? They had already shown clips of them rehearsing how to smack somebody. How about that? Like, let me tell you how blatant they're getting with this tomfoolery in the media. It is completely entertainment, but it's art imitating life now. You know what I mean? They're doing a lot of that. They're doing a lot of art imitating life. They're showing you some acting and then they're bringing it to life. You know what I mean? Letitia on YouTube said, yeah, Rock has a very annoying voice. He just doesn't seem like he's one of us. I know. And it's true. You know what I'm saying? His brother, Tony, is funnier than him to me because his brother is very relatable. He is in the streets. You know what I'm saying? He is connected. But the conversation, if you want to see it for yourself, go back and slow down the slap and see all that and just watch it. If you watch the Oscars and you saw prior to him getting smacked, they showed better points of view than they showed of the smack, and it doesn't make any sense. There's a cameraman to the right that never turns his camera on, or there's a camera position that you don't ever see. You just see over his shoulder going at him. Why? Because it's too revealing. This is Hollywood, y'all. So it's entertainment. They're trying to get the ratings up. They're doing whatever, and Will took a dive for it. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep that stuff in mind. So right now, listening to his comedy, he's talking crazy about Meghan Markle and you know what I'm saying, and other women in common, you know, women out there, and you know, and he's really punching down on black women. Like it just doesn't make sense. He's a horrible comedian and actor to me. But look, ladies and gentlemen, for those of the that are of the insecure situation, I want y'all to know that what you seek, you will find. If you are insecure and you're looking for something, what up, Stacy G? She said, "Nice to be here. It's nice to have you, Stacy." What you seek, you will find. If you are a person who is insecure and you're in a relationship where you feel like you can't trust somebody, when you look for something, you will find it. You will actually create it even when it's not there. That's just how crazy it is when you seek out to something. So for instance, if you in fact search through your person's phone, you will find something. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to be something incriminating, but you're going to find something. And in finding that something, your psyche, because you're already distrusting, you're already insecure, you're going to find something. You're going to find something that you didn't want to find, and you're going to make it out to be more than it actually is. Let me tell you, insecurity and looking for stuff, you'll find it. You got to remember, you're dealing with a whole nother adult, and you have to have the kind of respect for that. You know what I'm saying? Stacy G says, "Speak the truth and shame the devil." That's right. You can make something into anything that makes nothing. That may be nothing. You're absolutely right. So for any of you all who are insecure, understand what you seek, you will find. Be mindful of where you go looking for things, because they're out there, and maybe not what you think they are, but because you're already on edge, you will find that thing that you're looking for. And lastly, y'all, well, not lastly, but there's a really cool thing that happened over this week, and it kind of makes me, makes me emotional. You know what I'm saying? I want to say rest in peace. What up, Honey Butters? I want to say rest in peace to Kobe Bryant. They are retiring Paul Gasol's his number to the rafters, and they're putting it next to Kobe's. And it's funny because there's a clip out there where Kobe said, "Hey, I couldn't have won all these championships myself. Believe me when I tell you, when Paul Gasol retires, they're gonna hang his jersey next to mine," and that's exactly what they did. And it makes me emotional, man, because when we think about everything that transpired over the past couple years, man, you say, man, why did the whole Kobe thing? There's a lot of empty conversation about that because of the way of his demise. Kobe should not have been done that way, but we understand that the people that are out there that he was up against are very sinister people. And when I say people that he was up against, I want y'all to know that Kobe was due to be in court 2 days from that plane crash, helicopter crash. He was supposed to be in court discussing on the opposite side of the pharmaceutical companies. I don't know if y'all knew that or not. He was about to testify against Big Pharma. And then ironically, a routine trip that he typically makes is not routine anymore. Tashi said, we kind of too old to be searching people's personal items on iPhone. You know what you got. Yeah, true story. There's a point of maturity that you pass, and I'm just reflecting on that comment, that you pass where you should leave all those things behind, know what you know and believe what you believe, and go from there. But yeah, man, it made me nostalgic, man, because I hate the fact that Kobe, who was the reason why they had to do what they did to Kobe is because Kobe is diligent. Kobe is studied, he's smart, he's respected, and a person like that can't be allowed to speak because people listen when he speaks. And that's the situation that we're in, is that people who have immense amount of respect and people pay attention to them, that they don't want to let them get heard. You know what I'm saying? Letitia, as far as the other comment, because I guess I'm moving fast, she said, "Yes, I agree. Learned that years ago. Don't ever look and just put a damper on your relationship. You're happy." Yeah. What up, LA? I don't know how emotional y'all was when Kobe passed away, but I was like shook. And I was angry at the same time because I understood who did it and why. And it just showed just how sinister this group of people is out there with keeping information. I don't know if y'all knew this, that there is still a document that's running through the FBI that says there will be no black messiah. Now, what that means is there'll be no Tupac, there'll be no Kobe, there'll be no Malcolm, there'll be no Martin. There will be no black messiah. And what they call a black messiah is somebody who can speak life and truth and energy into the community. You know what I mean? Yeah, Tashi, his work ethic, and that's what they were afraid of. Anybody who has that kind of work ethic in their life, it's not just something that's on the court, it's how they move. What's up, Miss Precious? That means that he's going to take that work ethic into this fight against these people, and he had the money, the wherewithal, the respect, and the logic to deal with those people in the way that they needed to be dealt with. What up, Nasik? So that was something that they were afraid of, and Kobe very well could have a multitude of people following his footsteps, or at least listen or pique the interest of people, because he will have been well-versed, well-read, and well-studied. He would have gotten the information and would have made complete sense. And we are a group of people who you need to make sense to influence us to do anything. That's why they had a whole day's worth of conversation with the pandemic to get us on board with the conversation they were having about trying to get black people to understand and respect what they were trying to pull off, and it didn't work. And so that was a failed plan, but trust me, they'll come back and try to do it again. Lastly, on our What Does It Meme? There's a video on the Shade Room. If y'all not following the Shade Room, y'all should follow the Shade Room. I like the Shade Room. They are always up on something, and they got great perspectives, and they leave some conversation out there for you to communicate with your friends. It's great topics for you to know. It's like hot topics as well. I pull from there often because I love the pool. They have a great resource person. They have a great person who's out in the field getting this information. But they showed an old clip of Beyonce on the Tyra Banks show. Did any of y'all see it? There's a video of Beyonce going ham, going banoodles. What up, Savannah? She's going crazy on her on this performance. I don't know if any of y'all have seen it, but if you have any of y'all, by a show of hands, or tapping the screen, of course, keep doing that. But how many of y'all have seen Beyonce perform live? What up, Lady Holly? Welcome to the live. How many of y'all have seen Beyonce perform live? I want y'all to just say yes or me or raise your hand. Do anything to let me know if you've seen Beyonce perform live. Tashi said she has. Savannah said not yet. Anybody on YouTube? Anybody on Instagram? Anybody on Facebook? Okay. Stacy G said she's seen Beyonce live. Honey Butter said not yet. Letitia said I keep waiting for it to go. Yeah, I know, right? Letitia said she's seen it. So let me tell y'all something. You will not see a more full out performance from any other from any other performer than Beyonce. When I say full out, I mean Beyonce is at the top. Listen, Ron, you got to see it. If you like performances, if you want to see one of the best performances you ever going to see, Beyonce never takes her foot off the gas. Lady Holly says she's seen her. Listen, let me tell y'all something. So I tell this story about when I met Beyonce at she was on tour with not on tour. She was in Puerto Rico with us, and she was a special guest of Usher's during his Showtime special. Now, I tell this story to all artists that I talk to because there's a thing that when you speak to talent, this is what they tell you, and Kobe Bryant embodied this as well. You perform better than you practice. If you practice at your highest level, it becomes out of body experience. The reason why Kobe Bryant was able to score 80 points, the reason why Kobe Bryant was able to be as consistent and be as stone cold as he was, it's because he practices at such a high level that he's not far from becoming a phoenix. That's what I call Beyonce. I saw Beyonce practice and it looked like the show. Do you understand? I saw Beyonce practice and it looked as dope as the show. And listen, her practice was better than some people's actual show performance. Now, I want y'all to understand something. If y'all have never been on stage, I want y'all to understand this. A couple things happen when you get on stage. First off, when you're standing off stage, the energy starts coming, the crowd, all that stuff, and your adrenaline starts going. It's like somebody shot you with an adrenaline shot. And immediately you get out there and you're liable to miss a step, you're liable to trip, you're liable to do anything because you're so amped up. That's what happens to people who are not practiced at that level. It's new to them. That adrenaline boost is a new thing to them. But for people who have practiced at such a high level, they are almost flawless. John Legend, flawless. I watched this dude on tour with us perform night after night after night after night after night after night after night and not miss a note. Now, I have not seen anyone do that, perform. Now, mind you, he doesn't dance or any of that stuff. He does get up from the piano now, but he did not miss a single note. That lets me know that he's very well rehearsed and very practiced. Beyonce cut the fool when she's practicing so that when she's in front of y'all, it's an out-of-body experience. And I know people talk about, her worshiping the devil and all that kind of stuff. And maybe so. Maybe that's what it is that you see, is that she's channeled an energy greater than herself. But because she's already up here when she practices, the adrenaline from the crowd takes her to a place that most people never reach because she's already knocking on the door of that at practice. It looks like she's having a spiritual moment while she's practicing. So imagine what happens when she gets all your energy, when she gets 20,000 fans reaching for her, screaming for her and whatnot. It's out of here. So it's just like Kobe Bryant said as the Black Mamba, you hear stories. It's beautiful to hear the stories of fellow teammates, past teammates, and them saying, hey, man, when we were going out to the clubs, Kobe was practicing. When we came back from the club, Kobe was getting up to go practice. Like, that is said. That's how. So y'all understand. That's what was being said about me when I was growing up. Before I got into the game, people was like, "Yo, where Dwight at? Where's Scrap at?" He is in the studio. He is at home on his keyboard. He is creating. I missed a lot of the fun stuff that people were doing for the sake of fine-tuning my craft. What up, Janet? I was fine-tuning my craft. At some point, you got to. This leads us to today's conversation. This leads us to today's conversation, and it's coming right up. Yeah, I need to add music in between the breaks so y'all know it's like an actual break. You know what I'm saying? Because I can do it on my, I'm gonna do it on my YouTube, Facebook, and all LinkedIn, all that. I'm gonna put up here, so y'all know we're on to another segment of the show. But I can't do that for you guys. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta put music in there so y'all know it's something different coming up. So today's topic is, how bad do you want it? And it's crazy that, I had not planned on talking about Kobe Bryant. I had not planned on talking about Beyonce, but they're perfect candidates. If you have not seen the Yeezus documentary on Kanye West, it's a perfect outline for you for this conversation of how bad do you want it. I've been watching that. If you have not watched the Wu-Tang Clan documentary on Hulu, you should watch it. It is a clear conversation starter for how bad do you want it. How bad do you want it? One of the indicators of how bad that you want something, right? For instance, some of y'all say y'all want weight loss. Some of y'all say y'all want a promotion. Some of y'all say y'all want certain things in life. People can tell how bad you want something by the effort that you're putting into it. Point blank, period. You can't come to me and say, Scrap, can I work in your studio? Can I do this? Can I do that? Without me asking you, well, what's your plan B? And that's a trick question. If you have a plan B for your goal, then your plan A is already going to fail. What up, AC? If you have a plan B already in motion, your plan A is set to fail. I need to write that down somewhere. If you have a plan B, plan B is set to fail. If you have a plan B, then you're already setting yourself up to fail. I'm sorry. There's no other way to look at it. I'm going to tell you about most of the artists that you love out there. They had no other plan. There was no fallback plan. There was no backup. A lot of times, y'all don't hear a lot about artists that have gone to college and then became an artist. No, you don't hear that story much because the education that those entrepreneurs and individuals who are seeking something and their goal, it starts long before college is even an option. It starts long before that. And then once it does start, there are no other options in the face of your friends and family who will be telling you, you need to get a job, you need to try this, you need to try that. They don't see the vision the way that you do. So how bad do you want it? Do you want it bad enough to defy those people who've known you all your life, who are waiting to see you fail, who think that you should be doing something else, who don't see the vision that the way that you see it? How bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? Do you want it bad enough that you're willing to sacrifice some of the things that it takes to get it? Sometimes, y'all, you got to sacrifice certain friendships or involvement, or like I spoke about earlier, I didn't go to all the parties, and I realized, like, listen to me. Let me tell you what focus does for whatever it is that you want. Focus is the greatest gift that'll keep you out of all the trouble if you just remain focused on whatever goal you have set for yourself. I'm telling you, it kept me out of so much trouble. I would hear the next day when I didn't go to some place or something, and I would hear all the horror stories of the dumb stuff that popped off and who fought who and who was this and all this kind of stuff. It's important that you and your family and those that you love, that you teach them how to focus so they can get what they want. And they can be representing how bad they want it. I tell you right now, if you want something bad enough and you're going after it, other people can see it, and they will. You got two types of people out there. You got one that'll assist you if they see that you need help, or if you even announce that, yo, I'm going hard, but I could use some help. I know y'all see me doing this, and I'm just shy of my breakthrough. I'm knocking on the door of my success, and if you just put your hand on my back for a little bit, I promise you I can get there. Some people need that. And then there are other people who are going to encourage you by not helping you at all. Now, at some point, you're going to have to be one of those people. I'm just telling you right now. Some people you can't get involved with because they need the bumps and bruises so that they can sustain whatever kind of growth they're going to get. Sometimes y'all just got to stand by and let them do what they're doing. And I know it's painful, but you don't want to become a crutch. Helping people, you can actually hurt people. I don't know if y'all knew that. You can actually hurt people by helping them because they will lean to you instead of leaning and learning for themselves. This is what they're teaching the kids nowadays in school, which is handicapping them for what the real fight and real energy is going to need in the future. And that kind of bothers me. You got to raise a fighter nowadays. And you've always had to raise a fighter. It ain't nowadays. You always had to raise a kid with a plan in terms of what they want, so they can start early enough that they have a head start on everybody else. It's such a hard challenge to do that because there's so many options out there. And I'm telling y'all, we should be raising specialists. You yourself should want to be a specialist at something. And I'll tell you, Ray Daniels popped in here from the God Show earlier on my Instagram, and he's always telling me, Scrap, just focus on one thing. And that's if there was a curse to the gifts that I have, that probably would be it. I'm really good at a lot of stuff. If somebody was just to sit me down and say, Scrap, just do this. I just need you every day to do this. I would do it, but the mundaneness of it would drive me crazy because life has offered me too many opportunities to grow and be dope at other stuff. And it's a challenge. It's a gift and a curse for anybody who has an immense amount of talent to be strapped into doing one thing. This is, I live an enriched life. Although when they say how successful you can be and all those kind of things, if you want to be truly so special, if you want to be truly super special, just do one thing all your life. I promise you'll be the best at it. Nobody will ever beat you at it because it's all you do. If you really want to have the kind of success, that you see, different people. Usher is successful because Usher has started at 13, 12 years old, doing what he's doing now at plus 40. You know what I'm saying? Like, he is going to be the best at what he did because he's been doing it all his life. If you're raising a specialist in your household, you at least give them the opportunity to be so successful at something that they can switch it up later and have all the assistance they want. When Usher decided he wanted to act, everybody was down for it. What up, Emery? Everybody was down to help because this is Usher. What are we talking about? This dude is already successful. This is like a lateral move. This has nothing to do with his finances. This is just something he wants to do and he enjoys to do. That's what being a specialist at something will afford you the opportunity to do. You know what I'm saying? So many of us are not disciplined or built that way, and we live a very enriched life that way. I'll be honest. You know what I'm saying? Letitia says, I think these schools are pushing the children, growing the grading system is horrible. They be failing and the system tells them they're succeeding. Well, it's a lot that goes on with that. Honey, I appreciate the badge. Let me say something. That the schools are telling kids how to think instead of teaching them how to think. And that's the greatest problem we have in the schools, is that the schools are indoctrinating them to a lesson plan, but not that lesson plan isn't meant or built for everybody. That's why you got to have grace with your kids. Your kids are probably smart in so many other different ways than the way that is scripted out for these people who have been, listen, the educational system has been the same since slavery. So there's already a problem. How are you teaching people the same things you taught them when they were slaves? Because now when slavery was around and you were teaching these things, it was to make them subservient. It was to make them obedient. And that's not what you have now. We're not slaves. We don't have to be obedient to anybody. What should be happening is teaching them how to flourish, teaching them how to think for themselves, teaching them to have a perspective. I talk about critical thinking all the time with my girls. I say, listen, y'all better look at, this is not what you think it is. This bigger than what you think it is. You got to do the research. Y'all got these iPhones and iPads. Go do some research. Tell me what you find. Go look it up. Go dig deeper. How bad do you want it? When it comes to the knowledge, how bad do you really want it? Are you willing to go down that rabbit hole? Are you really willing to debate people who think they know? How bad do you want the knowledge? You got to get in the ring of knowledge and fight with other knowledgeable people, and not only fight, but converse with, so that you can hear their opinions, so you can get a grasp on what's going on. I go through on my timeline and I look at some of this stuff that comes up about the conversations regarding the pandemic. I hear the conversations regarding Trump and the elections. I look at the conversations about all this stuff, and no one's done the real research. There are a few out there who have really dug in the crates and done the real research. I like RZA, Brother RZA or whatnot. He made a statement the other day. He got a post up that's really, really dope when they were talking about this term called toxic masculinity. And I would have never known, because I never did the research and I never cared to do the research, but he made it very plain and poignant to me when he was talking about toxic masculinity was a term that was made by a gay white man. Sounds about white, don't it? Toxic masculinity doesn't even go together. It's an oxymoron. How can masculinity be toxic, and how can toxic live with a masculine man? It doesn't work. So when they make up these crazy phrases and start running around with them and start indoctrinating people to this line of thought, you have to dissect that. You got to go do the research on that. I will go back and look and say, when did this word become, in use? When did people start talking like this? When did people start using this term? Because it matters. One of the things that this society wants us to do right now is forget. They don't want us to learn, and they want us to forget. They want to erase. They want us to forget. They don't want you to know. The knowledge is in the books. Nobody's doing the reading. You can't trust Google. You can't trust Wikipedia. You can't trust none of those resources. So the history of the books that were printed, which can be erased, is where you need to dig for your knowledge. Some of y'all ain't been to the library in the month of Sundays, and I'll admit I ain't been to the library like that either, except to go get a book for my girls. That's it. But we need to spend time in the library, research things, go look it up. There's a book that costs $300. It's the what's it called? The Black Laws something, or it's the Black something. It's a book that is a law. It's kind of like a law book, right? But it's in layman terms well enough for you to read and understand it. But it costs $299 because all the information you need is in there. A lot of y'all don't know about maritime laws. You know what I'm saying? That we're truly under there. You know what I'm saying? We're under maritime laws. There's a guy out there. I'm throwing stuff out there for y'all to research it, because I'm saying, how bad do you want the knowledge? On the knowledge side of it, go out and look up Black Laws Dictionary. Thank you, Stacey G. I knew it was something. That's the dictionary. It costs $299, but it's the key to everything. So they would make you believe that the stuff that is being purported by these police officers and all of that stuff are are right and true, but they're not. They're not constitutional. They're breaking your constitutional rights on a regular basis. But because you don't know no better, you can't do no better. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Savannah said, I know about it all. Chashi said, I tried to buy the birth girth, and it was $999. Come on, man. That's, you understand? They're making the knowledge harder to get, so you got to get it as much and as soon as you can. You got to put those Jordans away. You got to put that Louis Vuitton away. You got to put that Louboutin away. You got to put those different things. Dearth, not girth. Okay, y'all got to put those. Y'all got to decide, man. Is the knowledge better? Bruce Lee has a quote that he says, instead of trying to give your kids all the things you never got, why don't you teach them all the things you didn't have a chance to learn when you was a kid? That's priceless. Teach your kids the things that you never learned. That's the job. The job is to pass the knowledge on to the kids that are right there with you. What up, Blue? You got to tell these kids what they need to know so that they can move with a different kind of energy. If not, they're gonna fall right in line with everybody else. So how bad do you want it? How bad do you want your kids to be successful? How bad do you want your kids to be enlightened and smart in the whole nine? That's going to depend on what you're willing to sacrifice. No, it's called the birth dearth. Is that it? By the birth dearth. Yeah, the birth dearth. How bad do you want it? Requires you to sacrifice some things. How bad do you want the things that you say that you want? You got to remember, people are watching, but they're also listening. So when you talk the talk, are you going to walk the walk to get what you want to get? Most of the times, I'm going to tell y'all about me. Y'all most of the times will not know when I'm going hard in the paint in the gym to get work, to turn up or whatever. And you won't know when I'm making adjustments because I don't talk about the adjustments because I'm busy making the adjustments. Like, I don't give people room. I believe I was watching on one of Ray's comments, birth dearth, a perspective on low birth rate of those people. Yeah. I was on Ray's page and he made a comment like, you can't tell people where you're navigating to because they will try to beat you there, or they will try to put barriers up in your way so that you can't get where you're trying to go. So I shut up. If you ever notice this, when you've decided to not drink, for instance, you decide that you're going to go out, but you don't drink, everybody offers you a drink. When you are booed up and you're not out here chasing, what happens? Everybody wants you. But when you're single, guess what? Nobody wants you. Why? Because people are watching. People understand your body language and know what's going on with you. You present a certain kind of vibe and energy. So you got to remember that as you move, how bad do you want it? Don't let people know what you got going on, and watch how things work out. Some things are just synergistically happening out in the world. People just can catch a vibe and feel what you're on or what you're not on. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be cognizant of that as you move. But if you really want something, people should be able to identify you with it. I can tell you, when I was young, people called you what they saw you doing the most. And they say that you are what you think about, what you dream about, what you passionately move toward. What up, Money Time? You are what you are. Stacy says, speak the truth. I will. Listen, what you want to be you don't have to tell me what you want to be. I should be able to see you and understand what you want to be. Oh, you are this. Because every time I see you, man, you got this. Every time I see you carrying a guitar. You trying to learn how to play the guitar, huh? Hey, man, I know a couple chords. Maybe I can show you some things. That's how that works. That's how that works. A person gets a new apartment, moves in, and they don't have all the stuff they need, but people see you trying to get stuff. What do? Hey, man, you need some dishes, man? I got you. I'll get you some plates. I'll get you da-da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? Back to book. Check out Libby app for books. Library card need, download free. That's what's up. Libby app, the Libby app for books, y'all. The birth dearth, not der earth, but I think it was DERTH. So with that in mind, your goal is to know what you want, understand that there's sacrifice in it. Ask people who've journeyed down the road. Listen, there's nobody better to talk to than a person who's done what you're trying to do, and they'll tell you. If they're truly, truly honest and really want to help you, they're going to tell you the things that were the challenges for them. I think people need to talk about the challenges more so people don't just, if it was, the phrase, if it was easy, everybody be doing it, right? It's not easy. Like, none of this stuff is designed to be easy. Nothing that you're supposed to be doing is designed to be easy. Finding foods that are rich and everything that you need, it's not easy. You got to search for it. She said, I have excessive stuff and I love to give when someone needs. And that's most people do. Like, most people want to be a help to somebody else. But two things. How bad do you want it? If you want it bad enough, people will see you going after it. And anybody who watches you struggle, for instance, if you're trying to climb a rope and somebody sees you trying to climb the rope because you got to get to the top, usually somebody come and say, hey, put your feet on my shoulder and then push up. Somebody say, here, I'm gonna grab your legs so you can get up. I'm going to do something. I'm going to do something to help you out. But people got to see it. I remember as I was, going through college, and a lot of y'all did this too, and a lot of girls really supported, supported when you was going through college, and they support basketball players and all that. When they go through it and try to get what they're trying to get, what happens? The girls are, buy them groceries if they need it. They'll buy them dishes, or they'll help decorate their apartments. They'll do something to help out. Letitia said on YouTube, awkward. My outside associates tell me I look like a mortician. We carry ourselves differently. Yeah, listen. We have to be better in reaching to help, Tashi said. Exactly. Listen, now I'm going to tell you, there's two sides to that, Tashi, like I said. Yes, be open and ready and willing to help someone that you know is sincere about what they're doing. There's a proving ground. I am not going to help you immediately. I need to make sure that you are destined, that you are spending what you have to help yourself. Yep, you got to discern the help. You got to know when somebody needs help or just needs a kind word, because the people who really need the help are the people who've already been doing it for so long, and they're at a breaking point and they just need that little nudge, that little, assistance at that moment. And it's those people who are going to have the breakthrough. It's those people. Listen, my mentor, and y'all going to always hear me mention him, because he has always dropped a lot of dope gems on me. As a producer, he said there are going to be more wannabes than gonna-bes in the music industry, period. Now, taking that into consideration, we know this is why there are people who are on YouTube that are a success at talking to the mass community of people out there, because there are going to be more wannabes than gonna-bes, and the wannabes are tuning in to to gain the knowledge. The wannabes really will spend the time to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And those they're part of it with on the music side. The reason why I do some tutorials and stuff like that while I'm working, but I can't do a lot of it because I'm too busy doing to teach. You know what I mean? Those that do don't teach. Those that teach don't do. It's hard for me to do that while I'm actively doing it. Like, it slows down the process, and then it's just a whole different experience. And so I realized when it comes to music, I'm not a teacher. I'm a doer. I'm too busy doing to teach anybody anything when it comes to this music thing. I've learned it in such a way, I'm so quick that to teach you, I'm slowing down and thus changing the process. You all have to know when helping someone is hurting you. That's the other part about helping that can be detrimental to your growth, your advancement, your speed, your process. You got to know when somebody, although you mean well. And this goes back to the conversation we had last week, Monday, about selflessness. Your selflessness can make you see yourself less, and that's the part you don't want to do or have in the process. You know what I'm saying? You want to learn? I believe you should pay the intern and shadow. Absolutely. And people will, right? The challenge is the people that you really want to learn from are too busy doing to stop and teach, and that's just the truth. If there was a master class, Timberland would let you take his master, and there are. I'm sorry. The only way people like that can do that is if they take a certain segment of time out of their schedule, create what needs to be created, and then say, hey, you guys go over here and make this tutorial thing or this advice thing and teach them how to, to learn what I got to learn. But I got to get back to the business. I got to go back and do the work. Most times those that are too busy doing to help. With that, how bad do you want it? What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to sacrifice for the next level of the game? Everything requires you to sacrifice something. You got to give up something to get something, because to get where you at, your hands are full now with what you had to use to get here. So what are you going to let go? You know what I mean? Letitia said, so is that why so many artists fall off and there were some really good artists, but they just disappear, or is it greed? What do you see more of being from that world? Well, there's a lot of factors that that come into play with artists coming and going. Budgets, project success not being what it should be. There's so many reasons why, like, it's hard to touch on that because it's going to depend on the artist. But a lot of times, Letitia, artists don't get the support from the labels. They get angry at the label. The label says, oh, you're going to bite the hand that feeds you. All right, I'm just going to shelf you. Money is a big issue. The album or process that they did wasn't successful. Talent argues about money they didn't get for the success the album didn't get. I mean, it's so much that it's all good. It's so much that goes into it that they can't do it. Tasha said, dope would be to record and voiceover and sell it. Yep. So you slow down. So you do have to, in order to do that, Tasha, yep, you absolutely have to slow down for a second just to put that part together. What up, Prince Bumble? And then you parse it out to the people. That's the only way to do that, really. You know what I'm saying? For those people who have momentum and you it goes back to that Kenny Loggins song. He said, you never count your money while you're sitting at the table. You know what I'm saying? It's because you're still playing, you're still busy. That's the same process. You never look at what you got while you're still getting more. You can't do that and progress in such a way that it doesn't derail you. So it's a crazy place to be in. You know what I'm saying? It's a crazy place in space. But when you are, when you're trying to assess how bad you want something, you got to look at it. You know what I mean? You got to look at what you've given up or what you're prepared to give up. And a lot of people don't want to let things go. You're trying to get to the next level, carrying everything that you had with you from the last level. And all you need is the memory of it. You don't need the actual content because you already created it. It embodies you. At least it should. You know what I mean? That's what's up. It should embody you and it should make you go to the next level without those things, you know what I'm saying? Without the weight of those things, but with the knowledge of those things. So when you're at the next level, your hands are empty and free to now fill it up with what you need to get to the level after that. Too many times we're holding on to things trying to get to the next level and they're wearing you down. Letitia says, so why does Bad Boy always seem to never keep artists, but Diddy is so successful? You're answering your own question. He was the president of the label. He controlled the finances. He made the decisions. The other people were employees of his that and this goes for any company that y'all work for. Just so y'all know, what up, Perez? Any company that y'all work for can let y'all go in a heartbeat and not miss a step. I'm sorry. I keep telling y'all to get a side gig. You know what I'm saying? How bad do you want it? When I say how bad do you want it, I'm talking about your financial freedom. How bad do you want it? What are you willing to do to get it? Are you willing to work the 8 hours at the job that you have and then do something on the side to get your come up? What up, RJ? How bad do you want it? Are you willing to work 10 hours at your other job or work overtime at your other job to put those resources somewhere else so eventually you don't have to work at that job? Are you willing to learn what you need to learn in your off time? Are you willing to not go out to the club? Are you willing not to go out to the restaurants? Are you willing not to go spend frivolous time doing nothing and instead channeling your energy to learn about your business, learn about taxes, learn about loans, learn about grants, learn about different things that are going to help you build your business so you could be the shot caller? That's what I'm talking about when I say how bad do you want it? What are you willing to do? Building a fan base as an artist, J. Marco, what are you willing to do? Are you willing to get on are you willing to get on 3 to 5 of your social medias and post every day, 5 times a day? Are you willing to set up a schedule to post to get in front of your fans? Are you willing to go and record? Are you willing to pay for your recordings? Are you willing to pay for somebody to write your songs? Are you willing to go to the next level and get somebody who's had success to get involved with your process? Are you willing to take the money that you earned at your job and invest it in yourself? Are you willing to get a makeover? Are you willing? There's so many things that have to happen. How bad do you truly want it? I talked to y'all the other day how I lost weight, cut my hair, hit the gym, and I got my record deal. And I keep telling people on a regular basis, a record deal is not hard to get if you have talent. Period. I had a record deal at Capitol Records sight unseen. They never saw me. They just saw a picture of me and they heard my song and they wanted to sign me. Period. It's about the music. So at the next level, that label, that offer went away. And then there was another offer on the table by somebody who had seen me, who knew my work ethic and loved the record that I brought to the table. All I had to do was, tweak my image. And once all that stuff was together, I got the contract, signed it. I got a record out right now. The record's been out, you know what I'm saying? But it's with me and Busta Rhymes. And Busta Rhymes and Pitbull got on the record before I even signed my deal. So when it comes to what you want, how bad do you really want it? I'm tired of watching, looking, seeing, hearing people say they want something, yet they're doing things that are not proactive towards what it is. Man, I want to do this. Well, are you going to stop smoking? You say you want to be an entertainer and you want to dance and all that. You going to stop smoking weed so your voice can clear up? You're going to stop smoking cigarettes so your voice can clear up? You're going to start showing up to dance studios? You're going to take dance classes? You're going to do this? I'm tired of hearing people say that they want something and not actively do it. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want your relationship with God? How bad do you want it? Do you pray every morning? Do you pray at night? Do you know Muslims pray 5 times a day? That's how close their relationship is with God. And we wonder why they have all this oil and all these different things. You know what I'm saying? If y'all don't understand that, if you want a closer relationship with God, get closer to God. Do the things. How bad do you want it? Do you show up at church on Sundays and maybe on Wednesdays for the pastor's private conversations and all that kind of stuff? Or are you in the choir? Are you in places where you could be spirit filled? Are you listen, come on, man, don't get me started. Do you want a relationship? How bad do you want it? I'm tired of these things happening to me. How bad do you want a relationship? Are you the relationship type? Have you done the things to make you a good catch? Are you a dope this and that there are some baseline things that people know about when it comes to relationships and with men and women. You know what I'm saying? There is some relationship stuff. Thanks, Tish. There are some relationship things that people know are bottom line stuff. Women want a protector, a provider, and you know what I'm saying, somebody who can communicate and a whole bunch of other stuff like that. Are you any of those things? Ladies, fellas want a beautiful woman, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. They want somebody they can talk to. They want somebody who can cook. You know what I'm saying? They want somebody who takes care of themselves. They want somebody who is a delight to be around. Are you any of those things? Are you lacking in some of those areas? Are there some places you can improve? So how bad do you really want your relationship? Or is your stubborn ass going to hold on to whatever it was you was holding on to that you feel like made you great, but it ain't holding on to no relationship? Are you going to continue down the path that you've been on? Are you willing to make the adjustments? Tamara said, love the way you share your wisdom. Man, I'm just talking, man. I'm just saying you know what I mean? I'm just saying what I feel like needs to be said. People are talking. I've never been a big talker in regards of what I'm trying to do. I just do it. Like, I don't like talking about all that stuff. When it came to housework and chores, tell me what need to be done. All right, direct me. All right, I'm out. I'm doing it. Because the time I spend talking, it can be done. Do y'all understand that? The time that you sit debating on what it should be done, debating on what the issues are, you could be done. Do y'all understand that? You could be done. I mean, literally, you could be done. And in some aspects, I am preaching to myself. When it comes to releasing new music, I got so much heat, I could be done and put more music out. And I'll tell you, that's what success does. It makes you complacent at times. It makes you a procrastinator at times. It's just a few aspects of like that. But when the light switch is on, y'all better believe it's on and cracking. I will build a whole house when it's on and cracking. I will invent a new car should my mindset be on that. When I say I want to do something, you ain't nothing you could do to stop me when I say I want something. Ain't nothing in this world that can stop a person who is determined to get what they want and they truly mean it and they have the wherewithal to do it. That's the part that you have to start examining about yourself. Are you capable to get what you want? If you aren't capable, please do the work. If you aren't at this point in your life capable, it's never too late to do the work. I don't care how old you are. If you want something and you don't know how to get it, find somebody who got it and say, what did you do? Man, successful people love telling y'all how they became successful. They can't tell that story enough because they understand that It's not their knowledge to keep. Successful people understand that they have to give it away. They just understand that this is not for you. This is for everybody. Sit down and have a bite. You understand? Like, that's the process. What you don't know is available for you to know. And if you can't get close to those people, I'm telling you, the most successful people out there have books about how they became successful. Y'all should have read the Dennis Johnson. Y'all should have read the Dennis Rodman book is a great read. The L.A. Reid book is a great read. The LL Cool J book is a great read. There are several documentaries and conversations that they tell you. The Will Smith book is a great read. Tamara Ragland says, you care about others succeeding, and it shows. I'm not in music, but it can still apply. Absolutely. All this stuff is parallel. Listen, there is nothing new. There's just new ways to discuss it. And if you take it, just like you just said, where I may be talking about one instance, you can use that as far, alongside everything else. Like when I talk about recording in the studio, hell, I'm talking about you pressing play and record on a, well, y'all don't, it doesn't do that anymore, but on a recording, a tape deck. I'm talking about press and play and record on your VCR, or I mean not VCR, but your DVR and all those kind of things. All the same things, just a different way to get to the process for that particular thing. So whatever that particular thing is, there are processes that have already developed and aligned themselves with your life already. All you have to do is start figuring it out. That's something that I was gifted with very early in life. I realized that all things correlate. Now, if you can start grasping the concept of that, you're gonna work wonders in your life. Instead of acting like, oh, shocked about every new thing that happens. No, it ain't really new. You just getting, I know, right, Jay? You're just getting an opportunity to see it from that different perspective. You know what I'm saying? That's all you want to be able to do to have a well-rounded personality and a well-read on things is you have to consume and then take the good and dispel the bad. You have to consume and then educate yourself on what you consume, especially if you enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love music, so I was a historian in music. I got a bunch of albums back there that I put that I sample from on my record player. You know, some of y'all don't even know what a record player is, but I got that because the nostalgia of it is something that's amazing. Like, I love listening to things that were built back then because of the craftsmanship that went into it. And if I had to have a conversation about our history and some of the things that we need to push forward now that we're in our past, I have talked about how technology has moved us so fast and so far away from the healthy things in our lives that we're willing to eat Beyond Meat. We're willing to eat seedless fruit. We're willing to do these things that they're trying to make normal, but those things should never be normal. Our parents planted seeds for food, for the community, for the village, for the city, for wherever. There were processes and things that we've done that we don't do anymore. And when y'all say y'all are missing things out of life, I go back and I say, how bad do you want it? Are you willing to make you a garden in your place so that you can have the things that you want, so you can cultivate the cultures that our parents did, that foundation? How bad do you want it? You want a relationship, but are you willing to stay in that relationship and build it and forge it into what it should be so that you can be a better example for the people that come behind you? How bad do you want what you want? Are you willing to do what is required? Not only in the face of the people that you care about, but not when they're not around. Are you still being you? This is why, again, this conversation we had a couple days ago about being yourself. And when you be yourself, you don't have to worry about adjustments and all that kind of stuff, because you've been you all your life. And if you have decided, listen, you have cheated the world if you have not decided to be yourself. What up, Simply Fit? You are cheating the world and yourself if you have not been yourself to the world. Point blank, period. You should be you at all times. There's only one designed like you. There's only going to be one you, and there's only one copy of you out there, and you're the single copy of that version that should be seen globally. And if you're not doing that, you are shortchanging your life experience. How bad do you want it? I'll go back to the phrase I gave y'all the other day. Your concern for your quality of life should be feared greater than death. What a waste for you to have this amazing life and not have the most fun, to not learn as much as you can, to not give back as much as possible. while you are alive. Stacy G said, we raised on garden fresh from our backyards. That's right. Listen, I said this the other day. If you're not using or being used, you have lost your mind. That means you are of no value. How bad do you want it, man? How bad do you want your success? How bad do you want to win? I hate losing. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. What up, Donald? I'm so sorry. I'm not going to take it easy on you if we playing video games or physical games. I hate to lose. And guess what that means for you? That means that if you hate to lose and I beat you, that means you're going to get better. Listen, iron sharpens iron. Listen, I'm just trying to tell y'all something. I'm trying to tell y'all that being around the right people will help raise your awareness. It'll raise your stock. It'll raise your energy. It'll raise your wherewithal. You got to surround yourself with people who are going to challenge how bad you want something. This girl, I watched this post the other day, this girl on my IG, she was sitting there, and it's funny. Let me tell you, it wasn't funny, but it was funny. And when I say it wasn't funny, it wasn't funny that she was emotional and all that. That was not funny. What was funny is that when y'all want to be emotional, like when y'all want to be on live or when y'all want to be emotional on your social media, y'all don't wear no makeup. Y'all be looking disheveled. Y'all be looking put out. And it was funny because cute girl, always seen her on every other post, dolled up, lipstick, blush, eyelashes, all that kind of stuff. And then the day that she wanted to be honest, what up, Chrissy Beauty? The day that she wanted to talk about her life and what she was dealing with, it wasn't no makeup. Now let me get to the let me get to the part. What up, Wild Tris? Now let me get to the point. The point was this. She was saying that she was going to take a break from music because it was becoming too challenging. And, you know, I don't know if somebody responded to her stuff crazy. What up, Tasia? And it kind of tripped me out. So me being somebody who followed her and she followed me as well, I text her. I said, listen, stopping your career in the midst of the storm, you will never return from it the way you will. You will never respect it. It will never respect you the way. You have to build. Pressure does two things, y'all. Does anybody know what pressure does? I'm asking y'all. Type on the screen if y'all know what pressure does. Happy Wednesday, baby girl. What does pressure do? It does one of two things. What does it do, y'all? What does pressure do? I'll wait. What does pressure do, y'all? That's right. I didn't even have to play the whole song. Some of y'all said it. I like the way you said it too, J Hell, make or break. But pressure either busts pipes or makes diamonds. Letitia said create stress. No, it does. It has two opposite effects. It either destroys or it builds something beautiful. And that's kind of what I told her. I was like, listen, you know, I didn't say it to her. I didn't say to her, you folding is like a pipe busting. I didn't even bring the analogy to her. I actually told her, reach out to me because I need you to understand what this business is about. This entertainment, and it ain't even just entertainment, life. Life is either going to bust your pipes or it's going to create something beautiful. Totally up to you. This is why it's such a challenge. Listen, I'm going to tell y'all, I'm from the school of don't give me a certificate if I didn't win a gold medal. I want no damn certificate. A participation certificate. Jay Hale said, I needed this today. Thank you. You are so welcome. I'm hoping that every day I get on that somebody gives me a message like that because that's what it's all for. I don't want a participation trophy. Very seldom in my childhood did I get one, but when I got one, it pissed me off so much that it made me work harder than I ever worked because I was like, I ain't finna be sitting up here with no paper. I don't want no paper. I don't want no paper saying I was there. I want a medal. My sister has a photo album full of all my medals. I don't have any of the trophies, but she got all my gold medals, silver and bronze medals. She got all my medals. I knew I always wanted to be on that stage no matter what it was I was participating at. So I went the extra mile. I tell this story about when I was in middle school. And in middle school, so most of y'all know I play a lot of instruments. All right, I see Letitia for subscribing. That's what's up. Woohoo! So listen, I was in school. I played, just so for anybody who doesn't know, I play several instruments. Y'all can see the keyboard behind me and a guitar behind me. There are bongos back there. I used to have a soprano sax. I had a trumpet, trombone, all these different instruments because my brothers all played different instruments. So I learned everything they played as well as more. And so with being able to play all these different instruments, cultivating cultivating the ability to play these instruments, I would tell artists that when I was in the 7th grade, I was a baritone player and trombone player, but more baritone than trombone. So as I'm playing the baritone, thanks Letitia, I see you. As I'm playing baritone, I sat first chair, first seat. Now, if you're in the band, I want y'all to understand how this works. If you're not in band, if you don't know how it works, and this is how it works. So for every seat, meaning they have a first seat, second seat, third seat, fourth seat, fifth seat, there are 2 people who sit to those chairs. So first chair is you sit first chair, first seat, or first chair, second seat, which is typically the best player in then the second seat and all that kind of stuff. So I was first chair, first seat when it came to trombone and baritone. I could have picked either one, but I was the best at it because I had those instruments. I got a baritone from the school, but my brother had a trombone at home, and I was just killing the slide trombone. So finally, I wanted to play trumpet because the trumpet in the band, if y'all don't know this, the trumpet typically plays the melody. They're the strength of the band. They play like the best parts. So when I decided to do it, at this time, I was a 7th grader, there were 32 trumpet players. And when they gave me my seat, I sat 16th chair, second seat, meaning I played the most dumbest notes you ever would hear. It's like being the worst singer in a six-man group. So you don't get to sing the melody. You got to sing the other notes to help support the melody. So I was playing stuff like pump, 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 pump. You wouldn't even know what song I was playing. That's the parts of what I'm saying. So it made me anxious. So when challenges came up one day, I was like, I'm gonna learn the challenge song better than anybody in this whole joint because I hate losing. I'm gonna learn this challenge joint and I'm gonna challenge everybody. So when you're challenging, they start at the bottom, right? They start at the last person and they say, would you like to challenge your seat against the 16th chair first seat? And I was like, yep. Letitia said, yes, I always got second chair. Pissed me off. Cole would always get first chair. His dad was the band director. Well, there you go. So I would challenge to get the seats. So I challenged, I challenged first chair. I challenged from 16th chair, second seat, all the way to first chair, first seat. Some people didn't even want to challenge me after they heard how well I played it. So the 8th grader was the one who sat first chair, first seat. I beat him when I challenged, and when it came all the way around for him to challenge, he challenged me back and he won. Until the next challenge, I had learned it better. And here's the thing, y'all. What you'll notice is 2 things. As you advance in your life, as you get closer to your goals, as you are achieving your success, things get easier and more recognizable. And when I say that, I mean this. When I sat first chair, second seat, as well as first chair, second seat for the time that I did, and first seat, the melody were songs I had heard before, so it made it easier for me to play them because I knew the records. Same thing for you in your job. The more you elevate, what you realize is the processes that you've already learned, that you've been inundated with, you already know how to do it. This starts clicking. It just starts clicking and it's like, oh man, so this is what it's like up here. What you realize is the people that are above you in your job are doing less work because they have you to do the most work. That's exactly right, Tamara. Determination and action, always. Listen, practice makes better. It doesn't make perfect, it makes you better. Practice makes you solid, makes you dependable. If I shoot 100 jump shots a day from the same spot, I will get better. By week 2, I should be the person who hits the most jump shots from that place. So guess what happened when I play with people on the court? Every time I get to that spot and they throw the ball, they're going to be confident that I'm going to hit that shot. Is there anybody out there who can say to you, I'm confident that if I call on you, if I pass you the ball to do this, that you're going to perform at your peak level? If they're not, then you need to make some adjustments. How bad do you want it? You want a relationship, but you know you got a stank ass attitude. When does that work? You got a relationship, but you can't provide anything of value to another person that would be with you. How's that going to work? You're not a comforter. You don't know how to comfort. You don't know how to communicate. You don't know. Work on those things now. Listen, dating is it's for practicing. Dating is for figuring out what you do and what you don't want. How bad do you want it? You're going to have to go on some dates. And every date ain't going to be dope. But they're going to be revelations into who you are and what you like and what you don't like. So you got to get out there and put yourself in a place. You can't, listen, you got to get on the court. I hear people, I understand some people take breaks and do that. I'd be like, yeah, I don't know. I'd be like, I almost don't believe in the breaks unless you've really, really gone the wrong way. Like you made a really, really wrong turn and you got to go back. But for the most part, I think you have to stand in it. You know what I'm saying? Until you have the breakthrough that you're trying to get. I know that if I apply pressure, that I'm going to be the diamond. I'm going to get what I want. There have been times where listen, I'm going to tell you, and a lot of it has to do with my faithfulness as well. I'm a very faithful person. I know that God will do what you ask him to do. And I just know that happens by you saying what you want and then actively going after what you want. I've said it to people. I've said what I was going to have happen. I said, this is what's going to happen. I said, I'm going to get a record deal. I ain't auditioning for nobody because I'm in the business. Like I've had success in the business. What I look like auditioning. I said, this is the way I want to do it. And that's the way it went down. We sent a song out. The head of A&R heard it, said, I'm signing him when I come back from vacation. Just that easy. So what are you saying that you want? And what is it that you're actively going after to get it? What are you learning to get it? What are you preparing to do? You have to be doing something to get what you want, man. I'm just saying to y'all, how bad do you want it? What are you willing to move out of your way to get it? I'm just saying, listen, y'all, I don't even talk that you can't move mountains. Yes, you can. It just depends on what mountain it is you're trying to move. Does it make sense to move that mountain? Let's talk about it. Like logically, listen, these are the things that I talk about when I'm talking to y'all one-on-one and y'all telling me y'all situations. I'll be like, man, just get out of your own way. This is simple. What you're dealing with is something that is very manageable. Let's do this. Have you tried this? What has been the results when you've done this? Are y'all keeping track of your results? Some of y'all don't even know y'all scorecards. Some of y'all don't even know y'all stats. Come on, man. This is your life. You are the coach and the player. And I do have that written down somewhere. Let me see. I got that written down on one of my cards. We're going to talk about that too. Because some of y'all need to hear that conversation on being a coach and a player. I got so much stuff to talk about. Y'all don't even understand. These cards have, there you go. Y'all see it right there? See it at the bottom? Coach and player. Can y'all see that? Coach and player. Coach and player. We're going to have that conversation. Y'all think I be joking when I'm talking about writing stuff down. Listen, coach and a player. It's a difficult role, but there are times where you have to do it, and there are times where you're going to be where you don't want to do it and you shouldn't have to do it. Within the confines of your relationship, you don't want to be a coach and the player because the player resents the coach when the player thinks that you should be a player too. Do y'all get it? A person resents the coach when they feel like you should be a player with them. Meaning you should be in the boat. What makes you think you know more? It's funny, especially in the dynamic where the relationship is a younger person, a younger girl and the older guy, or an older woman and a younger guy. It's crazy that the latter would not listen to the former. Listen, this person's experiences, they've probably experienced more than you. Why wouldn't you listen to them? They will go through things with you, but man, listen, man, have y'all been in a relationship where the requirement was for you to bust your head on the wall that you bust your head on maybe 2 relationships ago? Like a person wants you to endure something that you've already experienced, already learned the lesson from, but yet this person in their naivety, because they haven't gone through it, they're now challenging your relationship. And now you got to revisit it again, even though you're steering it. You're holding on to the wheel like, no, let's not go. No, we can't go there. I've been there. I know what's going to happen over there. Don't you hate that? When you're trying to escape trouble and people keep putting you back in trouble. Letitia said it's frustrating when you see people move up because of who they know, but then don't know the job when they get because they skip line. It makes you lose motivation. So I always say this, membership has its privileges. Now, in those situations, Letitia, we can call it what it is. We know that it's a relationship that got a lot of, listen, most of the entertainers that you know in the business got on because of relationships. Ariana Grande is her family, she comes from billionaires. She don't need no money, but because she comes from that influence, they're going to give her a shot. Now, is she talented? Absolutely, and she should have a shot. But her experience is going to be different. When people have a relationship, it's part of it is who you know, but for me, it's always been who knows me. Like it's not who you know, but who knows you, who can call on you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of this stuff is favors. A lot of this stuff is relationships. And a lot of times I can't say that it's skipping the line. You got the best benefit that you could get because of a relationship that's been forged in history. And that's how people move up the ladder in these other situations. If they're going to look out for somebody, they're going to look out for their folks. And I can't be mad at that, even though I'm not the beneficiary of it. You know what I'm saying? I hate it. Like if somebody, and this is what you do in that situation, Letitia. If somebody should get a position above you who's not qualified for the position that they're getting, you show out in the position that you have, and I promise you somebody will rethink that decision and they'll put you in the place that it needs to be. Nobody hates losing money more than a person who has it. And nobody hates looking bad. So when that person who's unqualified to do the job that you've been prepping for all your career comes into the mix, you can make the difference. We see it all the time. We see people get in places and spots that they shouldn't be in, that they're not qualified in, and they can't stay there long. They're not withstanding because they don't have the wherewithal that you have. They don't have the capacity to even be there like that. So don't worry about that. Listen, you have to just focus on you and what you want. Do you want the position? If that's what you want, then focus on that and do the things that's going to make you shine. That's it. And know that you should be feeling good while you do it. You should feel amazing while you're doing whatever it is that you're doing. Now you really got to speak up and know your worth, bring it back to the tape. That's it, Abram. You can't worry about what somebody else got. You got to just do you so dope that people notice you besides them, because the person ain't qualified. So guess what they're not going to do? They're not going to self-promote. They're not going to be out there trying to shine because they're trying to hide. A person who's unqualified to do something is not trying to be the spokesman for that thing that they're doing. They're actually trying to be a quiet participant. They're trying to move in the shadows. They're trying to keep it quiet. But you ain't got to keep it quiet because you know your stuff. You know you qualify. A person who is confident and knows what they know, does what they do, and they don't worry about what anybody else is talking about because they know they on fire. You ain't got to tell me I'm doing a good job today. Shoot. You ain't got to tell me that. I know it's on fire. I know we be lit in this live. You know what I'm saying? I know we go hard. I know we be saying some stuff. I know we be moving the. I know it. I don't act like that though. I'm not cocky like that. But I do know. But I do understand. You know what I'm saying? Like I would be remiss to think that I get on these lives knowing I'm not affecting somebody. I would not like come on, man. There's a point in place where you got to understand who you are. Kanye West said it best. Watch the people that you are around, because there are people who will not recognize you for who you are and what you've done and act like you a regular ass person. And I know ain't nothing regular about me. I know it, you know it, so don't come at me regular. That's probably, if there's one thing that I'm challenged with and perplexed with sometimes when I be online, is that people don't always see you at that next level. You know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, I don't even talk about the world validation that I have that will let you know that I'm set apart from everybody else. I don't talk about these plaques that's on my wall and my music career and the success that I've had. I almost never talk about all of that stuff unless we're talking privately and it's a small room and we just kind of kicking it. But I know so much more than so many other people based off of being in those rooms with those people who know more than me. I actively surround myself with people who are smarter than me. I go and listen and learn from people who are smarter than me so I can look and maybe shift my perspective, or it's confirmation that my perspective is on point. You know what I'm saying? So that's enough for me. I've never needed validation outside of that because I've always known what I've known. I always know I'm a cold cat, y'all. If y'all don't know, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, I've always been dope.
I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
I'm just saying, I've been who I've been. You know what I'm saying? And I'm cool with that. I'm not a braggart. I don't go out there and pop off because I understand that there's a level of humility that you have to carry if you're trying to help and be there for people and you're trying to, be involved. You got to do that. I have dimmed my light in places where I probably should have let that mug pop off. That's the only thing I might regret, is that I have dimmed my lights, and I'm sure all of us have done this, and I need y'all to stop it today. Do not dim your light in light places. Do not dim your light in places where stuff is already popping. As a matter of fact, you should let your light shine so bright in those spaces. They'd be like, yo, it's more than one light in this joint? That's how it should be. Oh, man, that's my man. I didn't even know. And the light bulb goes off for everybody. I didn't even know. So I give y'all an instance. I was at a Chris Brown writing session in October. And I was there in the capacity of a manager. I was managing, I flew my writer out there, and I wasn't even going to write. I wasn't even going to do nothing. But I'm sitting there, and they're going through tracks, and I'm sitting in the room. My writer is off in another room working, so I was cool. And I'm sitting there listening, and I heard a track that I thought was ridiculous. Everybody thought it was cool, but I thought it was out of this world. And that's another gift that I have. I know how to create a smash. I know smashes when I hear them, even in their infancy. So I'm sitting there chilling. I don't say nothing. So after they go through about 70 tracks, picked out about 13 to 15 that they was going to consider. Right when we went to go back to listen to them, I was like, yo, can you play that one track that did da-da-da-da-da? And they remembered what it was, and he played it. I said, I already got a hook. I had written the hook down after listening to maybe 4 bars of the song. The song was already, it was there. And I was like, yo, this is what I wrote. They heard it. They was like, oh man, that's dope as hell. And that's kind of me. I write the hooks. I write the part that everybody wants to hear over and over again. So the girl went in and she sang the hook, and then the A&R, my homeboy Keith, came in and was like, yo, what's this? And I was like, yo, I wasn't planning on writing while I was out here because I just wanted to make sure my writer was good. He was like, yo, this is fire, yo. And she started cutting it. And then the head of A&R came in. He was like, yo, this is, everybody was celebrating. You know what I'm saying? And it's one of those things where in a position like where I'm not supposed to shine, I had to shine. You got to know when to pop off and not be afraid to do it and be confident in doing it and have that sauce. Because in those environments, everybody's fighting for a shot. In those environments, people are trying to shoot down your idea and all that. And you got to be so rock solid with what you're going with that nothing can impair it. And so that goes into everything that you're doing. How bad do you want it? Do you want it so bad that you will create all the necessary vices that you need, that no one can permeate that idea or permeate your position or your goal or whatever it is you're actively going after? If so, then you are prepared to do, then you let it pop off. Like I'm telling you, the reason why Kobe was solid, and y'all all know Kobe talked a bunch of trash on the court. He could do that. Michael Jordan talked a lot of junk on the court because he could do that, which I want to say on the record, I am absolutely going. The first night that movie comes out, I'm going to see the Michael Jordan story about the Air Jordan shoe. I am going to see that. It's going to be off the chain. Abraham says, stop the procrastination. Really got to understand we got to start somewhere. So listen, starting honestly should be the easiest part. The job, in order to have success, you should fail fast. Do y'all hear me? Fail fast to get the results. You are all scientists in your own lives. You guys are all searching for a formula that works. So you have to fail fast. You know, that's one of the things that scientists do so quickly. And unfortunately, in our society, scientists will fail and still offer it up as a remedy in order to make money. That's just a shame that has happened in the recent past. Anyway, that's just a side note for all you other folks out there. I want y'all to know that the formula that they presented to the world was super duper whack juice, and some people are paying dearly for it now, and I hate the fact that it happened. But listen, you are the scientist in your life, and you have to find a formula that's going to make you feel good about what you are doing. You have to decide what that formula is going to be for you, and it's going to take failing in order to unveil it. You know how many times I've made whack beats to finally start making dope beats? Do you know how many one of the greatest compliments I got when I first signed my publishing deal was the head of A&R or at the publishing company. She said, one thing about Scrap is he's not afraid to be whack. And at first I took offense to it. Whack, what is she talking about? And then I realized what she says, that I'm so free with my work, I'm so confident in what I do that I can say whatever the hell I want and think it's going to work. And it did. And I still believe that. I believe that I'm so talented, just so y'all understand, that I can make any and everything I want to work because I don't think from a place outside of stuff working. What I've learned, my mentor put me up on this, right? My mentor told me this, and this goes for any of y'all in whatever business that y'all are in, and this is why y'all have to be actively seeking out the best of the best. This is why Kobe was great, because he studied Michael. Michael was great because he studied Dr. J and all the greats that came before him. But this is what my mentor told me. He said, musically, if you consume nothing but number ones, you can't help but regurgitate a top 10. What up, Cole's World? Do you hear me? I'm going to say it again to you. If you do nothing but consume nothing but number ones, you can't help but regurgitate a top 10 single at least. Do y'all know what that means? It's similar to athletes who condition their body with all the best things. They can't help but be dope because they have consumed all of the qualities and all the things that it takes to be dope. Kobe Bryant didn't eat whatever he wanted. He ate things that would help cultivate a body that could do the things that he wanted to do. Great minds study other great minds because they want to understand those perspectives and the drive and whatever it is, that motivation, so that when they do the work that they do, that they have that same thing. Artists, you should all be looking and listening to nothing but number one records from the past, present, and what you can do is create the future with it because you have the elements of everything that was great. I was trying to to this day, I'm still trying to, and I got all the CDs to do it based from my homie, is put together the singles off of all the projects that have come out since the 90s. Singles only. Can you imagine if you're listening to nothing but the songs that the whole world has adored? You can't help but create something that is as qualified as those records. All you know is the best melodies. All you know are the best phrases. All you know are the best rhythms. That's all you know. You can't help but hear something when it's being created and say, oh, this reminds me of blah, 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 and do that. That's what I'm kind of known for in my career, is that I hear things in a nostalgic way. So when I go to create or sing something, I'm not even trying to hide it. I'm trying to sing. There's a song I wrote for this kid named Jay Shin out of Miami. Super dope dude, great vocalist. And I took the melody from Ready for the World. It says, if I fall in love. It was just that simple. It fit. I wrote the song in 15 minutes. I went down to, if I talk about the way it all went down, y'all will be like, wow, that is crazy. And I'll give y'all a brief conversation about how it happened, right? I was going to a video shoot here in Atlanta. And this is where it goes down to remember I said it's not who you know, it's who knows you. I was going to a video shoot in Atlanta, in the city. It was Jazzy Faye and CeeLo Green. They had a song together, and I went to the video shoot. While I'm at the video shoot, a young lady named Dina Marto that I'd known previously, who would also work for one of my close friends, Shakir Stewart, she was there, and this producer named Jim Johnson, who y'all kind of know now as the guy who did what's that, Like a Lollipop by Lil Wayne. He did Daddy's Home for Usher. He did like a whole bunch of the records. Yeah, All I Got Is Love by Jay Shin. I'm gonna tell you how that came about. So I'm at this video shoot. Dina's with him. He says to Dina, I need a keyboard player. Dina looks over at me somewhere she comes and finds me and says, hey, I want to introduce you to somebody. This is Jim Johnson. He's a producer. They just produced Pretty Ricky. Him and Big D produced Pretty Ricky, but he doesn't work with Big D anymore, and he needs a keyboard player. I was like, hey, I got you. I play, whatever you need, I got you. So he was like, okay, cool, come through to the studio. So I had somebody with me, and I had to drop them off. On the way dropping them off, I got into a car accident. It wasn't that bad, but it was more discouraging than anything, and I still went to the session. So when I get to the session, he asked me to play whatever he needed. I played the parts. The group was there. He was working with them at the time that he was working with. I played the music or whatever, and he was satisfied with it, and he walked out for a minute to go do something and kick it. When he walked out, instead of me just sitting there, I started working with the group all the way to recording them and doing everything. So by the time he came back, he was like, yo, they singing the parts and all that. I was like, yeah, man, I just figured I would just, work on the record while you was gone. I didn't know what you wanted me to do. He was like, yo, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the session, his manager came up to me and said, listen, hey, Jim really liked, the way you handle things. He was like, he gonna be here for a whole week. He said, can you come back every day? We'll give you $300 every time you come. I was like, cool. That's a quick lick that I hadn't even thought about getting. So it was like it ended up being like $2,100. Then at the end of it, when they paid me, they was like, yo, if you're ever in the Miami area, come check us out. So what happened was, it was around the time of the VMAs. Now, the year before I was in the VMAs, I was with Usher, and we had a private house in Miami off the beach. That's when he took that super dope super yacht. So I drove down this time. Instead of going with Usher, I drove down with a couple other friends, and I looked them up. I went on the beach, went to the studio. Jim met me at the studio. He was like, oh, man, my bad. I really don't have anybody we working with right now except for this one kid named Jay Shin. I was like, cool. I said, that's the guy who did the song with Tasha Scott, right? She's like, yeah. I was like, okay, well, can I hear something that y'all been doing? So he played me a couple records, and I was like, cool. And I was like, I get it. I get who he is. Now let me hear what you want me to do. He played me the track. I said, all right, cut it off. I'm going to go in the booth. I went in. I wrote this song, verse, hook, and everything. And then Jay Shin was on his way pulling up. And when he heard it, he was like, yo, what is this? This is crazy. And I had wrote the whole song about the relationship I was in at the time. You know what I'm saying? And it's called If I Fall in Love. If y'all don't mind, I'll play a little bit of it. I think y'all can all hear it if I play it. Do y'all want to hear some of it? I wrote this song in 15 minutes. YouTube, they're going to make me bleep it out. So there's going to be a little blank space there where I had to play that, of course. But with that being said, it was one of those moments, Jay Shin out of Miami. But I sang that hook because nostalgically it's in my memory bank. That's why artists got to do their history. Yeah, it is. I wear this thing so much, Paul. It's the greatest gift Mom ever got us. I tell you, outside of the gift of life, my writing process is, okay, and it's funny that you should ask me that, Donald. Donald on YouTube asked me, what's my writing process? What up, DJ Dub? My writing process is like this. My homeboy, they called me up last night. They said they got a dope track for Usher. They played a little bit over the phone, and then I was supposed to come home and they were going to play me the rest of it. Priscilla, I appreciate the Cash App. Thank you so much. But they wanted me to hear the track some more. I said, don't play me the track anymore. I can't listen to it until I get ready until we work on it. So first off, Donald, I can't listen to a track several times and then act like it's brand new when I go to record it. I have to hear it fresh the first time, and then I can write you the hit, but I need to hear it right away. Thank you so much, Ush 1978. I appreciate the Cash App. If you play it, the first thing that comes to my mind usually is the first thing that's going to come to all y'all minds. That's how in tune I am with the community of people I'm serving when I hear these records. So I don't want to hear it 1,000 times and then to be dumbed down. I need to hear it the first time, and my first reaction I go with. That's how trusting I am of my process. It took some time to get there, Donald, but It took some failed times to get to the times where I'm so confident in my writing that when I hear a track that I like and I love, I can write it in a heartbeat. It takes me no time. The words are in the air is what I have to explain to people. Like, words are all around us. Every time you look at something, you're thinking of a word. So when it comes to writing a track, you just take what the track is telling you. The music is telling you something. You just have to be vulnerable and transparent enough to consume it. That's it. That's the only requirement to being a dope writer, is say what you feel. And you don't know that the quirkiness or the weirdness or whatever it is that you feel won't connect with a bunch of people unless you've listened to a lot of number ones. This is why I keep telling people, if you don't do your music, if you don't do your history of music, how can you hope to have a better aim at the target? The targets have been hit yearly, hundreds of times all year. You hear number one records. That's the litmus. That's what you're trying to gain. There is no discovery. It's been done. Like, it's already been done for you. The work is done for you. All you got to do is look at it. Literally. I can go and pull out all these number one records, and if I just sit there and listen to them, there's going to be some things that they all have in common, and that's going to be the bass part that you pull out of that. When I'm not saying bass like sound, I mean that's the basic of what you pull from it, is that common denominator. Then you look at the other things that they did a little bit differently so you can understand ways that you can play with that common denominator to get the success that you want. This is how you build your formula. You dissect hit records, and you will find that they all have the same kind of thing. They all kind of manage the same kind of, certain instances. And once you got that once that's in you, well, hell, there's nothing somebody can play you where you can't hear that common denominator. And if you write and allow yourself to be a vessel, you got to remember, you are the go-through for the words that want to go with that song. You're just a vessel. That's it. You're not supposed to. For those writers who take a long time to write, you're overthinking. Just write down the first things that come to your mind. Trust me. If it doesn't work in the beginning, that's cool. You're learning the process of being able to not only write fast, but be able to write for what the record needs. A lot of times you're still writing for yourself when the record is asking for something totally different. I write the quirkiness. I get it all out of my system. I don't care. I write it, and then what you hear is, and it's funny because I was ahead of my time a lot of the time, meaning records that I wrote 2 years ago became very popular now. I sold a record in 2017 that I wrote in 2005. You know what I'm saying? Like great records don't have a shelf life. Donald said, okay, since I'm not really a pro, it usually takes me a few listens, and most likely I have to be in a vulnerable state to get real creative. I love your process as well. So it's not about being a pro, it's about being a risk taker, Donald. You can't be afraid of saying something stupid. That's the real recipe I got for anybody who's writing. You can't be afraid to say something stupid, because what's stupid to you could be the dopest thing that you've said to the community of people that is listening. One of my biggest records, and I keep telling y'all this, one of my biggest records says, it's the bomb diggy diggy when we get jiggy, let me piggyback ride on it all night long, singing my song, all through the hoodie, want to get that goody goody. I'm just saying. That's what's up. That's the second album. That's after Just Call Me a Mac. But that's when it all started beginning, and he started defining who he was and who he's going to be in this industry. Is on the My Way album, really cultivated his attitude and personality. And he performs that song. If you haven't been out to his residency, he's performing My Way. You know what I'm saying? He goes hard on that record. That's a staple for him too. That's one of his favorites as well. And Jermaine, if Jermaine is in town, Jermaine comes out and performs it with him. But yeah, so I have a lot of great gems when it comes to music that I don't discuss as often as I should. And Donald, I appreciate you coming on. And Letitia, I think I appreciate you always having a musical spin on some of the questions that you have. But, maybe I'll visit having that conversation with y'all a lot more, because I do have a different perspective, having worn so many hats in the music industry and being successful with it. It may be worth, giving you guys some tips, tricks, tools, and things to do that with. So that's something that I may consider doing, is giving y'all some of the sauce. And again, It's not my knowledge to keep, and that's why I'm not afraid to give it to you guys. Nothing you can do with that knowledge that'll impact me negatively. If anything, you guys will be adding me to your legacy, which which is really one of the goals that I have when I impart knowledge on people. Is I would hope that people would someday say, man, I was on this live with Scrap and he said this da 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 da, and that's what changed everything for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to make sure that the time you spend with me is impactful for what it is you're trying to do. And that's why I answer so many of you guys' questions when you ask it, when you present the questions, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, definitely. And this is the free way to do it. I'm saying that because Donald actually booked a consultation with me to help steer him in the right direction and to give him some tips about his personal situation. And that's probably one of the gifts you guys can get when you join a Zoom call with me, is that even though I speak very general now, your personal perspective and the focus on you and what you have going on is probably something that you guys can benefit from. You know what I'm saying? Is fine-tuning your process and fine-tuning what you got going on. You know what I'm saying? So should y'all need to do that, you just DM me. We'll set up a calendar event for us to sit down and talk for about an hour on a Zoom call about your specific situation so that you can tweak it and turn it. And that's what the job is of those of us who have traveled before you, is to sit down and say, here's the process. Here's where you're going wrong, or here's what you can do to make it better. Here's what you can add to your process, or you're on the right track, or whatever the case may be. You need validation from those who have done what you kind of done. It's not validation, but just a cosign, somebody to say, yo, you're doing the right thing. And sometimes that's it. Or in most instances, it's okay, I see what you want to do, but you're spinning your wheels. Why don't you try to do this or add this to the program? Or how many times are you doing this? Have you studied this? Have you done that? And those things really change your life, especially when I impart on you guys the knowledge that my mentor has imparted on me. I think it is definitely career shifting, mind altering, and it's going to make a difference. Tasia said, I'm coming right to you. That's what's up. And I do music reviews. When we sit down, I had a rapper book a consultation just to play me his album and see what his single should be or what direction he should go with his project. And I've been instrumental in that process for a lot of people, because what I realized, there are several things that are missing from most people's projects, and there's simple fixes. Sometimes Tashia. Okay, I got it. Tashia, my bad. And I see it, but I didn't put the on the Aya, my bad. But there are little tweaks that people need to have a successful project, whether it be a maxi single, or EP, or anything like that. And sometimes you guys overshoot, or you don't. Your starting point is not where it should be, and that's why you have a conversation with somebody who gets the process and who can help put something in perspective for you or in place. With that being said, man, we've kicked it an hour and 40-something minutes. I know it doesn't seem like that. Time goes fast when we're having fun. I got my apple cider vinegar drink that I got to drink, and I can tell y'all, like, as soon as I drink this apple cider vinegar drink, it's gonna be like lightning in a bottle. I'm sure I'm gonna be in the bathroom. For those of you who don't know about the apple cider vinegar drink, tune in. I think Friday will be when I run out. Today's Wednesday. Friday or Saturday, I'll be making nope, I won't even be doing it. I'll be traveling. And I'm not taking it with me. I got to see. But I'll help y'all understand what this is. Letitia says, thanks for always touching me in such an uplifting way. You are such a blessing. You give such knowledge, much love. Thank you so much. That's why I'm here for, man. I'm here for y'all, man. I appreciate all of you guys. I appreciate those who are hit the like button. Those of you who have shared. Big shout out to Ush1978 for the Cash App. I appreciate that. For those of you who want to, and the badge from the badges and the gifts that you guys have done, those are super dope. It just shows your appreciation of my time, and it, like I said, everything helps build your social currency with me. The liking, the following, the sharing, the commenting, all that stuff, it builds your social currency. And I remember you guys all, and I appreciate everything that you guys do. On YouTube, you guys can always super chat, which is when you monetize a comment or you buy a monetized sticker, or you can subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, I want to shout out to I think it was Tosh. Somebody subscribed today. I appreciate that. Stacy said, we appreciate you so much, Scrap. Peace and blessings to you. Thank you so much. To all those subscribers that are resubscribing, with my consistency, showing up 5 days a week, being here, having these conversations, changing your perspective, giving you something else to look at, another way to approach life and things that you're looking at. I appreciate you guys for showing up and being here. Your time spent with me is enough. Anything you do above that is appreciated in such a major way. I don't want it to go. I don't want you to think I take it for granted. I don't. Everything you guys do, every way that you guys carry me, from when you, from those of you who have bought the book and I've signed and sent out to you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Letitia said, I'm so hurt with our TikTok numbers. I know they don't stop the show, but you always had a great attendance. Yeah, I mean, I know I'm being shadow banned a little bit, and I'm cool with that. The only thing that, and this goes on any platform that I'm on, the only thing that can change the attendance record of these platforms is you guys. How much you liked it, how much you shared it, and how much you comment about it even after the show is over. That changes attendance. It's going to take you and the reputation you have with your friends, the respect they give you in your conversation about things. What's up, Rosanna? Bye, Rosanna. What's up, Rosanna? That changes things. Word of mouth changes things. You know what I'm saying? Sharing the content. You got to go to my YouTube channel. If you guys want the attendance to grow, I mean, it's difficult for me to grow it alone without buying, ads and things like that, which I guess I could do. I could buy ads with the money that you guys cash app and gift with. I guess I could reinvest it into the show that way. And maybe see if that doesn't boost attendance as well. You know what I mean? But again, we're talking about things that are off the beating path of the casual TikToker. Some people, this might be, it's a bite to eat. It might be hard to swallow for some people. And that's not my audience. And that's why, I communicate and move and do the things the way that I do it, because I just want to, have them, contact. Jaywan said, how do you stay on your regimen when traveling? Well, fortunately, there are lemons everywhere and there's apple cider vinegar everywhere. It's not difficult to stay on it, and there's water everywhere, Jay. So that's the simplest part about it. So usually when I check into a city, I'll hit a CVS or I hit the Publix or whatever their market is, and I get the smallest. Now, mind you, like when I was in Vegas, I forgot to bring my honey. Like I have a traveling thing of honey that I would usually pack, which I'm taking at this time, because I like my local raw honey when I use it. But you don't need honey for the drink, so you just need things that you could buy at every grocery store around the world. If you're trying to maintain, the only things that you don't have is a measuring cup, which you can get that for, like I bought one in Vegas for like $3. You know what I'm saying? It costs you literally nothing. So to stay on your regimen just requires you to, take some extra measures. Like what I did the last time I went out to Vegas, I had my homeboy, he was reluctant to do it. He's like, what am I, your servant? I was like, nigga, I'm gonna let you keep whatever's left. I sent him, I think I sent him $30 to get all the stuff, and it's stuff I know it only came to like $10. So I was like, yo, put that in your gas tank or whatever for the ripping and running, man. I'm not asking you to do something I'm not paying for. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not telling you to give me my change. I cash apped you more than what it costs so that you wouldn't feel like I was, you know what I'm saying, it wasn't respectful of your time nor your gas and your energy. Now, mind you, he bought me the big thing of apple cider vinegar. I'm like, man, bro, I need the smallest thing. I'm only gonna be here for 3 days. That's the only thing, is they don't make a small thing of apple cider vinegar, which somebody else asked me, Jaywan, about that. And I was like, yo, I could actually prepare a container of all of the stuff that I would take with me. You know what I'm saying? Like I could, except for the water, like the water, that's difficult to travel with when you're on a plane and all that kind of stuff. You just don't want to do that. Yeah, I let them keep the change, Stacy. What up, Strictly Business? But so there are different ways of doing it. And again, Jaywan, how bad do you want it? That's the name of today's show. It was how bad do you want it? And that's what when I think about ways to travel with my stuff, the ingredients, what you're gonna need is for the drink. Letitia said you should be a pro at it. I no longer I no longer measure. I just know where it's supposed to be. Yeah, I do, but I do it for everybody else. I measure it because most people are watching me when I do it. But when I'm doing it myself, I just know what the levels are. So the ingredients are 8 ounces of water per serving, 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar with the mother, 1 freshly squeezed lemon, and it should be about 3 to 5 ounces. And that's really it. Now, honey is optional. Honey helps you if you have allergies and things like that. You know what I'm saying? And it helps boost your immune system. So that's why I add it. Plus, it makes it a little more tolerable for me to swallow it. You know what I'm saying? It makes it sweet. I keep my water in a blender bottle. I need to make this ACV thing. Yes, you do. It's going to change everything. I promise you. It's such a cleaning thing. And then when you add the other elements of great health and exercise to it, man, it's just life-changing. You don't know what you're carrying until you start realizing, like, yo, when you go to the bathroom regularly, once you start getting regular and you're getting it all out of your system over the first few days or whatever, you realize you had stuff stored on the walls of your intestine that couldn't wait to come out. And when your intestines get clean, they get smaller. So you get fat because your intestines swell up from the things that's being stored in it. All the gook that's in there that makes your intestines big, and so your stomach posts out. No, I never tried maple syrup. I never tried making it with milk. I always tried it with honey because honey had that property of affecting your allergies positively. So I never tried that. But what you'll notice when you first start drinking it and it starts working is that you'll notice your stomach stops being bloated. It'll go down. No sugar. The only sugar associated with it, Kiki, is in the honey. So if you have issues with sugar, I would limit the amount of honey that I put in it to a tolerable amount. Now, I put about 2 teaspoons in mine, but I'm also very active, meaning I'm burning off the sugar that's in my system. I ran 4 miles yesterday. I don't talk about this stuff, but I ran 4 miles yesterday. And that knocked that usually knocks all the sugar out and it starts working. I know, and I can feel it in my body and in my system. And today it is about 60 degrees with a high of 66, so it's going to be warm enough to jog again today. I'll try to jog. I'll usually go around 1 and see if I can't get 4 to 6 miles of a good run in. What up, Teray? Welcome back. And try to do that. But you got to do something in conjunction with it if you want maximum results. Yep. So Teray, I'm really just wrapping up. We've been on for about 2 hours. The replay is available on YouTube. And you can go check it out. They're gonna flag it because I played that Jay Shin record live, but you'll still be able to watch it. It was I hope everybody enjoyed today's show. I believe everybody who is here, and we've been keeping the numbers consistently, so I do believe everybody that's been here has been enjoying it. Yep. How bad do you want it, J Hell? That's the key to everything that you're gonna experience in life, from your relationships, for your relationships socially, from your relationships emotionally, from your relationships spiritually, from your relationships financially. How bad do you want it? What are you willing to do? What's a deal breaker? What's non-negotiable? You know what I'm saying? These are the things that you're trying to discover about yourself as you move forward through life, because your concern for your quality of life should be greater than your concern for your fear of death. The first time I ever said that, it just really clicked. Because you all are among the living, we have a responsibility to live the best life possible in all things. And if you start off your day with a gratefulness for your life, there's nothing that will stand in your way. If you realize what you did to get here, if you actually think about all the cards, all the things that had to be aligned for you to get where you are today, there's no way you complain. Matter of fact, you start telling people, do you know what I had to do to be here. Because if you know, then you wouldn't be wasting my time. If you know, then you wouldn't be standing in front of. Listen, I know what you did to get here is just as pronounced as what I did. So why don't you chill out? Letitia said you should test your numbers by just talking about the apple cider vinegar compared to when you talk about other subjects. Listen, if I post that I'm talking about apple cider vinegar, do you know how the lives look, Letitia? My live will go crazy. Like if I say I'm talking about, listen, 800 to 1,500 people will be in my live when I talk about apple cider vinegar. It just happens. It happens. I'll do it I can't do it this weekend, and I can't do it the weekend after. I can't do the weekends for a minute because I'm doing some traveling and stuff. And then there's a week that I'm traveling during the weekdays, so I'll have to figure that stuff out. Love says she found a Nigerian hibiscus that she drank yesterday. Boil, add honey to sweeten, cool, and you have to when on a day, Love, that I do, like she said, like Letitia said, on the day when I'm talking about the apple cider vinegar drink, that'd be awesome for you to share because there'll be so many people asking you so many questions about. And you can be ready for it, which is what I'm giving you an opportunity to do is you can give them the history of it, what it does, why it's beneficial, why we should drink it, because that's typically what I had to do. You got to understand it's more of a learning thing for most people on here that you have to teach them why something is a benefit for them so that they know. So my community is very well versed in what apple cider vinegar does for them health-wise, from blood pressure to diabetes to hair growth, nail growth, skin care, all that kind of stuff. So be prepared for that. But I would love to hear more about Nigerian hibiscus drink and what it does for your body and your health and wellness. With that being said, you guys, it's always a pleasure. You know what I'm saying? I always enjoy it. Again, shout out to everybody who participated in spending some social digital currency. If you don't have my book, I have it put on the screen right here where you can get my book, Your Social Digital Currency. Make sure you're following me on YouTube, especially because I'm actually going to go on my YouTube channel and do a full breakdown. What you'll notice if you're on my YouTube channel right now, which is youtube.com, ICGREEN1, what you'll notice is I can go to one of the outline pages on here, and I can actually scroll through the book and talk about it. Right now it's on the testimonials page, and I'll give y'all one of the testimonials that's also listed in the book. I forgot the Ish. I don't know what that is. First and foremost, this is from Dejanay Goldston. I remember her so vividly. She's had an amazing personality, and she was in my lives when I was on Clubhouse. She said, first and foremost, I would like to thank Scrap for welcoming me into the Relationship Expert Show family. I'm honored and beyond thankful. I feel like it was honestly God's placement to help me prosper the right way. I've learned so much within 1 week of being on Clubhouse, retaining the knowledge. YouTube channel is ICGREEN1. IC Green 1. Or you could click my name at the top and then go click like you're going to Instagram, which you should be following me on too. And then my YouTube would drop down as well. She said, I've learned so much within 1 week on being on Clubhouse, retaining the knowledge he has been teaching in his classroom. Yes, I say classroom because he is giving out the sauce to social digital currency firsthand. Time is money, and the fact that they are using their social digital currency on Clubhouse to bless us, it shows the information that they are providing is the key to reach the $1 billion dream we are all fighting for. The Cash App is TRXS Now. If that was what you were asking. Cash App is TRXS Now, which is also in my bio. TRXS Now, which stands for the Relationship Expert Show Now. So TRXS Now. And then YouTube is ICGREEN1, which is all placed on there as well. She continues to say, I will share my testimony of what it was like before joining the TRXS family and how it helped me. I had sent a DM to a lady who goes by the name of Stormy. Now, most of y'all have seen Stormy on Instagram. She's the exercise guru that's on Instagram. If you've scrolled through, you've seen her and you know what it is. Letitia said, sit back and watch it live. It's amazing how professional your screens are compared to watching some of the other lives that are handwritten and they hold it up to the screen like who can. Yeah, so I'm more of my displays are able to be up like this. So she said she is one of the top ranked sellers for TLC. I wrote her a message back in October of 2020 explaining that I wanted to work with her. The first thing I did was send her a DM, which was not the first thing to do.
Now let us go back to social digital currency. I applied the information that I learned from the Relationship Expert Show. I went back and I followed her. I simply went and liked a few photos on her page. Most importantly, I commented on a few of her photos. Scrap stated in session 1, you must comment at least 5 words without emojis to affect the algorithm. Just by simply doing those little steps, I woke up with a message from her with the link to sign up and work with her, just by coming to class and taking notes and applying it. It is a must and highly recommended you come with a pen and paper on your laptop. Crown say he's doing a social media room now on Clubhouse if I'm free to come in. Okay. It is a must, and I highly recommend you come with a pen and paper or your laptop. Please take notes. And I need to start announcing that when I do these lives. Make sure y'all got a pen and paper, just like I have, these flashcards, to take some notes so that y'all can even remind me. Most times I am in the moment of communicating and I can't remember what I'm saying at the time that I'm saying it because it's meant for that moment. And you guys have to write stuff down to help me remember. I try to repeat things that I think are really worth highlighting, but I can't remember it all the time. And so you guys are going to have to be my note takers and you're going to have to regurgitate some of this stuff for me. But she says, they are dropping fresh pearls coming straight out of the sea. Nothing but the knowledge to help you shine your light in the dark tunnel. This is your time to get your own spotlight and build your foundation. That $1 billion dream you want is within yourself if you apply the right social digital currency and make yourself valuable. One message to you all: if you are wanting to work with that celebrity client, do not send a DM without doing the following. Follow their IG, click the bell on the top right corner of their page, which will alert you when they make a post so that you will be one of the first to get to their page. She's telling y'all all the stuff that I tell you to do. You know what? Tomorrow, Thursday, we'll talk about social digital currency. Be prepared to get educated in how to expand on your social media presence and your behavior, what's expected of you and what you can expect from others. And then also be prepared to purchase the book. You know what I'm saying? Social digital currency. If you don't have it, just be prepared that if I say something tomorrow when I'm discussing the book that really resonates with you, I'd appreciate the actionable item that you do is actually purchase the book. You'll purchase it on Shopify, and then you can leave a message and a note or whatever, email, and tell me what it is if you possibly want your inscription in it. I can write something if we've communicated or know each other, but if not, you can tell me what to write in it and I'll write it and sign it as well. I was reading your excerpt from one of the someone who left a testimonial. She said, "This is a family where we are making ourselves notice and unbelievably valuable by applying the social digital currency knowledge." And she wrote this in 2021. She said, "Will be a year full of billionaires who apply the knowledge learned from the Relationship Expert Show." And there's several other testimonials that I posted. They were really cool instances where people really had breakthroughs on the platform and it worked out. And that's kind of like why, like what I just said, what time you come in on 9 or 10 so I can set my alarm. I came on at 10 today and I'm trying to make that as consistent. So these are the options. Either I come on at 10, depending on the night before, or I come on at 1. Those are the options for my daytime. And I keep saying I'm going to do it. I just have to decide what time in the evening that I'll be able to consistently do an evening recap, which is just an outline based off of the notes that you've taken and I've taken that we can discuss with other people, because I know some people don't even get on until the evening. So let's figure that out. 2 hours and 2 minutes clicking. I appreciate y'all for showing up. To my Instagram folks and TikTok and YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. The lives are on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/ICGREEN and the numeric 1. That's IC Green 1. To everybody who tuned in and showed out on Instagram, I thank you for your badges. I thank you for your participation, your likes, your smiles, and your comments. This is not goodbye. This is to be continued. I will see you all tomorrow. To all my people on Discord. I don't want to share that. Discord. There we go. To all my people that are on my YouTube channel, I want to say thank you. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Y'all participation is always dope. Y'all know your time equity when it comes to YouTube goes a long way, and I appreciate y'all tuning in. Be sure to tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody. You can always repost this information. Y'all can always go take snippets and do it. Thank you, Donald. I appreciate that. He said, have a good rest of your day. I appreciate that. Likewise, everybody have an amazing day until we talk and see each other tomorrow. For YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn, I'm out.